We start our journey from the southernmost part of the Croatian coast and one of the most impressive and famous cities on the Mediterranean, Dubrovnik. Its turbulent history begins with the founding of the city in the 7th century under the name Ragusa. The city is surrounded by imposing walls almost 2 kilometers long, which were built over 500 years. In the 14th century, Dubrovnik became one of the first republics in the world under the name the Dubrovnik Republic. The ships of the Dubrovnik Republic sailed the seas of the world for centuries and ensured the wealth and prosperity of this rapidly growing city, which gradually included the surrounding territories and islands. The wide main street, Stradun, runs through the center of the city. It is the main street of the city and a favorite gathering place and promenade of Dubrovnik residents and their guests. From Dubrovnik towards the Pelješac Peninsula stretches a group of interesting islands and rocks called the Elefites. This is a true paradise for sailors and lovers of untouched nature, peace, and quiet. The Dubrovnik Republic was one of the most developed European states of the Middle Ages. This rich and interesting past is evidenced by the remains of numerous summer houses of the captains, ship owners, and merchants of that time, whose wealth would be measured in billions in today's money. They built palaces, summer houses, lawns, and parks on almost all the islands. The island of Mljet is located in the Dubrovnik archipelago and is its largest island. It has an elongated shape because it is 37 kilometers long and only 3 kilometers wide. Saplunara Beach is one of the most beautiful on the island. The large lake, actually a bay connected to the open sea near Solin, was created by submerging the karst field. The large lake has an area of 1.45 square kilometers. Its longest length is 2.5 kilometers, and its width is 1 kilometer. The greatest depth of the Great Lake is 46 meters. In the southern part of the Great Lake, there is a small island measuring 120 by 200 meters. Remains of a Roman building were found on it, but it is by far the most famous for the Benedictine monastery, whose monks came to the island in the 12th century. The Pelješac Peninsula is very interesting and abounds in beautiful nature and crystal clear sea, an ideal place for sailing and swimming. Location of the Pelješac Peninsula and its pleasant Mediterranean climate have led to a long-standing tradition of viticulture and olive growing. Cultivation and nurturing of vines is a 100-year-old tradition of Pelješac wine growers. Top selections of terrain, all-day sunlight give wines from this area exceptional quality. The hard-working hands of the peasants of Pelješac have cultivated the land for centuries, and on the most accessible terrain, fertile vineyards are created that produce top-quality wines. One of them is Postup, a famous Croatian wine-growing location at the entrance to Orebić. At the foot of Postup, in the village of Mokalo, a boutique winery has been opened decorated in the style of old Dalmatian taverns, with a museum where you will learn all about the painstaking work required to produce top-quality wines. Of course, you could also taste them and take some home with you as a souvenir. If there is an island on the Adriatic that we can safely say is the most fragrant and the right island for lovers of top-quality food and wine, then this applies precisely to the island of Korčula. The town of Korčula was first mentioned in the 10th century, but the exact time of its creation has not yet been determined. Old Town was once completely surrounded by a high defensive wall with towers, and for a long period of its history, it was connected to the rest of the island by a drawbridge. There are two entrances to the Old Town, the Sea Gate from the west and the Land Gate from the south. In the tower, you can see the Moreshka exhibition, which is danced right here at the foot of the tower. Moreshka is a nightly dance that originated around the 12th century in the Mediterranean and was once danced all over the region. Today, it is only danced in the town of Korčula. Certainly the safest and most beautiful place to anchor is the Aci Marina in the town of Korčula, only 100 meters away from the Old Town Center. With its 159 moorings, it will provide a safe haven for boaters sailing nearby and protection from all winds.